listen. This is a non-traditional campaign, okay? I'm a non-traditional candidate. I'm not the typical person who would be running for office, and I think that's why this is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
We're living in a time in our country where we are so unbelievably divided, it feels like there's no coming together. It feels like there's so much of separateness and apart from that it feels like there's no possibility for us to come back together. But I believe that we can and we will come back together because I do believe, and it's cliche and it's corny, but I do believe in the idea of leading with kindness. As cliche as it is, that is the rule that we're taught from the time we're children, from our parents, to treat other people the way you want to be treated. Treat the people around you the way that you would want to be treated. And why are we not doing that in politics? Why are we not doing that? Why are the leaders of this country on every level of government not doing that? Millions and millions of people's lives are at stake. And those lives that are at stake need help from the local level, from the ground up. It's not just Washington, it's not just Albany, it's what's happening in your own backyard. And that's why I'm running for city council, because I want to speak and fight for each and every one of you, not just the 170,000 people in my district, but the entire city. Because when we're in city council, when I get elected, because I will get elected, when I get elected, I'm going to go in and I'm going to take the knowledge that I've learned from all of you and I'm going to put it to use. Because that's what our electeds need to do. Listen to you and put your ideas, your thoughts, and your needs to use. That's what we need in office. And I'm so... First of all, I never thought I'd be a city council candidate in my entire fucking life. Like, I never thought that was like a thing that would happen. I grew up on a farm. I went to religious school. I was like the kid singing Annie in the cornfield with my grandma's aprons tied around to make the dress. And I got beat up in the bathroom in 5th grade because I was a sissy faggot. And I fought back like that kid that we saw. I smacked that fucker. But I tell you that story because I have literally been fighting my entire life. I've always felt like that sissy faggot who was told, no, you can't. Well, this sissy faggot is telling you, yes, I can, and I will, with you and for you. This campaign is historic, not only because I would be the first drag queen elected in New York, but, I want to tell this story. I remember being 6 years old, and I was in the kitchen, and I was with my mom, and I looked up at my mom, and I said, I think I'm in the wrong body. And she didn't know what I meant. And me, at 6 years old, I didn't know what I meant. I just knew that there was something very different about who I was. And so then when I came out in high school, I identified as a gay person, because that's the language that I knew. And I'm so grateful that in 2019, our language is evolving to a place where I can say, sure, you can use he or she pronouns, but I identify very strongly on that like two-spirit, middle ground, multi-gendered spectrum. And we're now at a place where we can like have these discussions. And I'm so grateful that language is evolving in that way. And I don't take offense when, pronouns are you, because I know that I'm still figuring out that for myself. And I'm just grateful that we're able to have an opportunity, a platform with me as a candidate that's going to open people's minds and hearts and eyes to ideas they may have never been exposed to before. To elect not only a drag queen, but a non-binary, gender non-conforming person is a big deal. It's a big deal, and I believe I can win. I know I will win, but I also know the greatest win of this campaign is that in this district, in this city, in this borough, people are going to see themselves represented for the very first time. They're going to say, oh, I can be a part of the political process. I thought I had to be X, Y, and Z to be a part of it. No, the political process should be for every single person. It shouldn't just be for politicians. Because who are the people who are affected by the laws that are made? Everyday people. So why should everyday people not run for office? And that's why I'm running, because I'm an everyday person. I was talking to a friend today. You know, we have some flyers around with some of our key point things that we want to tackle, and throughout this campaign cycle, I want to hear from you guys about what are issues that matter to you, block by block. I want to go from 96th Street to 165th Street, block by block, and hear each of you and what are your needs, what's happening on your block. That is hyper-local. What potholes are there? What crosswalk isn't there? What traffic light doesn't work? What building landlord isn't turning your gas on? What heat isn't working? What leak happened that hasn't been repaired? What are these where's there? Do you need a ramp? Let's get you a ramp. Yeah. Like, what's happening on the local levels? I was talking to a friend over coffee today, and we were talking about NYCHA housing. And there's 5 NYCHA housing complexes in this district. And what's happening in these housing complexes is thousands of people across the city are being ignored because they don't fit a certain income bracket. So they either have no heat, or it's 90 degrees, and people are getting sick to the point, I saw the pictures today, where they're bleeding, nosebleeds under their pillows because their sinuses are getting so fucked up because nobody's paying attention to their needs. Mm-hmm. Elderly people are stuck on the top floor because the elevators aren't working because they're being ignored. We have a subway. I just went to a protest. I had to leave because I thought I was going to get arrested. I was like, I can't miss my event. I got to go. But I was just at a protest because of the over-policing of our subways. If we're going to spend $240 million on police, why aren't we taking that $240 million and putting it back into the communities that are affected most? My district is one of those districts that's being affected. We have overcrowding in schools, teachers who can't give the attention they need to students. I think 32 students in the classroom. My mom was a teacher. 32 students is too much. I'm a kid who, I didn't do well on tests when I was in school. And my mom went to my teacher and said, well, why is Marti performing poorly on this test? We studied. I know that they know the information. It's because I learned differently. So my teacher held me after school and she asked me all the questions orally. And I got them all right. We need a school system that's going to give that attention to students because we all learn differently. We're not just standardized tests, we're human beings. Mm-hmm. And we need our electeds to put those practices into place. We need to make sure that money that is supposed to be going to over-policing is going to our education system. It's going to programs that are going to further help our communities. We have a high asthma rate in this district. One of the reasons is because of that NYCHA stuff I'm talking about. The asthma rates of young people in NYCHA housing is skyrocketed because of the conditions. We need to put that money back into those communities. It is vital because lives are on the line. And somebody may not die from having that nosebleed, but their quality of life is sure messed up. And isn't that bothersome to you? It should be, because these are people's lives. And another reason I'm running is because out of our city council, 38 of the seats are term limited. We have 52 council members. So 38 of 52 council seats are up. That's the majority of city council. There's 5 people in the city council now who make up the LGBTQ caucus. They're all term limited. So theoretically, there could be 0 queer representation in City Hall. That's a problem for me. That's a problem. Because if you have the Ruben Diaz seniors of the world continuing to be in office, you're going to have homophobic and transphobic policies put into place. We need queer people and allies elected. I'm super excited to be running for office. I'm super nervous to be doing it. But if I wasn't nervous, then I shouldn't be in the race. When you're nervous, it means you care. And I've been sober for almost 9 years, and my first sponsor said to me, because that was a scary time in my life. I was nervous then too. And he said to me, when you have these feelings of fear, because running for office brings a lot of fear. It's a lot of unknown. And he said to me, your body registers fear the same way it registers excitement. It's the same butterfly feeling. So tell yourself you're not in fear, you're excited. So I'm excited to be on this journey. I'm excited to be out there campaigning. And people say, why? It's so far away. It's not. It's not. We have the 2020 election coming up, but guess what? In November 2020, when that election happens, we go right into the holiday season, and what's after the holidays? The new year, 2021. What happens in February? We have different organizations starting to do their endorsements. What happens in March and April? We have to be on the streets petitioning. What happens in June? My primary. And when I win that primary, I have to keep the momentum going for the November election, for when I win the 7th District of New York City Council seat. This is an amazing turnout. I fucking love Sweet Bar, so make some noise for them. It's amazing. There's a great show after at midnight with Brenda Darling and Pataya Hart, so stick around. And I have to tell you, okay, I know we've talked a lot, but I cannot do this without you. This is a very grassroots movement, okay? I am the underdog, non-traditional candidate that a lot of people are going, oh, you're a drag queen, whatever. You can push me aside and brush me off, bitch, but when I win, what are you going to say then? Okay? I may dress up, silly for a living, but I'm not clowning around, goddammit, okay? I'm here to do it. I'm here to fight for you. I'm here to listen to you and advocate for you and get the work done. But like I said, I cannot do it alone. We need you to sign up to volunteer, donate your time. Help us. We have amazing volunteers. Where are my volunteers tonight? Make some noise for them. They're incredible. We have amazing volunteers working hard. I've been with us since day one. Our volunteer stuff, it's fun. We take my dog in a little doggy Bjorn and we hit the streets and we talk to people and it's a really good fucking time and we eat pizza. I'm trying to go vegan, but I really love cheese on pizza, so we're working on it. But we have a really good time together. And if you're able, I know that this city is expensive. Trust me, I am in a lot of debt. But every dollar makes a difference. So if you're able to contribute even $1, the city does the matching funds program 8-to-1. So $1 is $9, right? $100 is $900. It's a big deal for candidates like me. So if you're able to even give $1, please, please, please help out our campaign. Our first filing deadline is coming up in January, and I want to be the candidate that's on top during that filing deadline. And I know we can and will be.